Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. I had just about penciled in Paradise Garden by Jean-Paul Gaultier to be my favorite designer release of the year. I was pretty sure that it was gonna be. I mean, I still had to, of course, do the smelling at the end of the year, you know, gather up all the releases and start trying to rank them out in my head. But I knew it was gonna be right up there toward the top. Now, I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna be a runaway winner anymore. And it's because of this. Boss Bottled Absolu. And if you have not been looking forward to this one, maybe you should be. This one finally popped up in the US, available for sale at Macy's. 110 bucks for this size right here, 50 mils, or 140 for the 100 mil. And this stuff is good. Hugo Boss has saved the best for last, or at least I'm assuming this is gonna be their last release of the year, unless they just announce something randomly in the next week or two, which usually doesn't happen. Toward the end of the year, most fragrance houses don't release much of anything big. They're just, you know, selling and advertising the stuff that they've basically released that year, or their more popular releases from previous years. But yeah, guys, Boss Bottled Absolu, this stuff, okay, my expectations were here, and whew, I was looking forward to it. I was. Just didn't expect to like it as much as I do. I'll have this one linked in the description. If it pops up at discounters before this video comes out, then I'll put a link there where you can save a little bit of money. But probably, at least as of right now, it's probably going to be Macy's. Let's kick things off by taking a look at this presentation. We can start talking about this fragrance and compare it to some of the other Boss Bottled fragrances as well. So here we've got the presentation, front of the box. You have the name of the house, name of the fragrance, all there on the front. Mine again, 50 ml size. Parfum Intense is the concentration. You have a QR code on one side of the box. You have the name of the house up top. On the back, your ingredients and a simplified note breakdown, leather accord in the top, patchouli essence in the mid, cedarwood essence in the base, and on the bottom, badge code and barcode. My badge code is 4213. And here's a look at that bottle, done in your typical Boss Bottled style. You've got the name of the house on the front, name of the fragrance on the front as well. Boss on top of the cap, sticker on the bottom with your badge code. And it has a gradient, which is sometimes hard to see depending on the lighting conditions. But at the bottom, it has kind of like a light caramel toffee sort of color, and then it gets quite darker as it goes up. Cap clicks into place. The cap is also very lightweight, and the atomizer is not really that good, but let's share a few sprays anyhow. There we go. Yeah, like I said, the atomizer is just kind of weak, but that's okay. I'll let it slide. Now, before we jump into this fragrance and how it smells, guys, codes, here they are. The JOMASHOP one has changed, or ones, there are two of them. They only work in the JOMASHOP app. Keep that in mind. Go to the App Store, download the app, then you can use them. Then we got Max Aroma, the perfume box, Fragflex, and other codes as well. Let's start talking Bottled Absolu. Now, like I said, Paradise Garden, man, that was a hit right off the bat. And I thought this year, this is gonna be the year. We're gonna get amazing releases, you know, all down the months. As the days tick by, we're gonna be just showered with greatness. And there have been some good releases this year, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it really reached the expectations I had in my mind. And so as each month passed, it felt more and more of a certainty that Paradise Garden was just gonna be the best of the best. But this right here, I'm kind of bummed that I already made my fall top 10 list, because yeah, this would probably just be number one. But yeah, let's start talking about how it smells. So this one does not have a note of tobacco, but when I first spray it on, I get tobacco vibes to it, like a nice, sweet, rich tobacco, warm spiciness to it, but not overbearing with the spice. A really nice resinous sweetness and warmth to the fragrance. Right when you spray it on, a little touch of smoke comes through there as well, but it's blended together very nicely. So you don't get like a big punch of incense, a big punch of smoke or anything like that. It's just faintly intermingling with everything else, just adding depth, adding character. The leather is smooth. Again, a nice sweetness to it as well. And even though there's cedarwood essence in here, it's not like an an in-your-face woodiness. You know, it doesn't have like that sometimes brash or slightly abrasive, spicy woodiness. You don't really get that. Everything here very smooth. The patchouli has a faint earthiness to it. It doesn't go like full chocolatey to me, but again, very, very rich the way that the patchouli comes across. Faintly earthy, touch sweet, a little bit dark, very classy, but at the same time, very sexy as well. It's going to draw comparisons to Boss Bottled Elixir for good reason. I mean, Bottled Elixir, also a bit of a hype beast. You know, a lot of people love this one, myself included, but they are not redundant. So if you own this is not close enough to Elixir to where you're gonna go, oh yeah, I shouldn't have bought this, you know? They're doing two different things. You would wear them maybe similar time frames, fall, winter, great evening fragrances. Both of them have a classiness to them, a little elegance to them, but they approach things in a different way. Boss Bottled Elixir, a little bit more throwback. You know, it's got a little more of like an inspired by the past in terms of how it comes across. Like a classically masculine, woody, spicy fragrance. It is a little more brash than Bottled Absolu is. It's more aggressive with the spices, certainly more aggressive with the woods. Whereas Bottled Absolu keeps things a little bit sweeter without going bubblegummy, without going overdosed. Just a greatly balanced myrrh, patchouli, again with that almost tobacco sort of vibe to it, and that hint of smoke again just sets it off. But yeah, they approach things very differently. You smell them side by side. They're not really that close. So like if I give this one a little spray here, yeah, it's like this one, Absolu, settles into being like more a magnetic, addictive, cozy, sexy kind of fragrance. Whereas this one, Elixir, a little more assertive, a little more classically masculine, and more of an emphasis on those woods just right off the bat with Bottled Elixir. Both of these fantastic releases. And this is not even the first bottled release of the year. We also had Triumph Elixir, which I'm realizing now I should have gotten the 50 ml size because now it doesn't matter. And I really enjoy Triumph Elixir as well. This one more patchouli forward for me. Like right off the bat, you can pick that patchouli up in here, and it doesn't come across as unbalanced, but the patchouli does dominate the fragrance a little bit here. It has, to me, sweetened up just a little bit from when I first got the fragrance. I don't know if that's just my mind playing tricks on me, like now that I'm used to the fragrance, but I get more of the violet coming out in Triumph Elixir than I did initially when I first got this one in, which lends like a little tinge of like a semi-green sweetness to it. And while I really enjoy Triumph Elixir, overall, I prefer Elixir to Triumph. And I think I actually like Absolu more than Bottled Elixir, which is pretty crazy because I really, really like Bottled Elixir. I think this is great, especially for the price point that you can usually scoop this up for. But the way that Bottled Absolu comes across, especially considering that in the future, I mean, not like the near future, but in the future, you should be able to get this for much lower than it's going for now. Like the quality here, the way the scent comes across, how it smells in the air, it is just fantastic. Bottled Elixir, as of this video, about 70 bucks at discounters for a 50 ml, 75-ish for a 100 ml. You can find it for less sometimes, like Fragrance Buy, I've seen it for less, but then it sells out and you have to wait for it to come back in stock. So, but yeah, that just gives you kind of a price range of what to expect on this one, you know, within the next, I don't know, 6 months or so, I would guess. At some point, it's gonna drop down there, but it just, so nice. I did not expect to enjoy it more than Bottled Elixir, and that's what's really kind of like caught my attention about this one. Kind of in the same way that Born in Roma Intense. It doesn't smell like Born in Roma Intense, but when I smelled Born in Roma Intense and wore it for the first time, I was like, whoa. Like, this is way nicer than I expected. And then you start catching whiffs of it throughout the day and you're just like, I want to wear this all the time. That's kind of what's going on with this one right now with me. Like I said, fall top 10, if I could if I could go back in time and if I had this, it would be #1, period. Oh, another good thing, the performance. This stuff is sick. It lasts a long time. projects really well. And that's with it having a garbage atomizer. This thing is trash, atomizer-wise. You gotta get pretty close. It kind of like spackles your hand, you know, it doesn't do like a very even distribution. I mean, again, I'm gonna spray it again, but this stuff is not coming off tonight. No, the distribution's okay. I take it back. But you have to get pretty close with it. Like you see where I was at right there, kind of like doing this, kind of what you gotta do. This is not a really powerful atomizer. You just kind of gotta get it like, yeah, like that, you know, 6 inches away, maybe less. Ooh, my left arm is gonna fall off now. Just...
But your arms, they'll fall off.
Too strong. But yeah, strong, guys. This is strong. Lasts a long time, projects really well. Just make sure you get nice distribution, spray it a little bit closer if you've got this one. I think the 100 mil atomizer, a little bit better. But yeah, performance is there. It's there. People want performance nowadays, that gives it to you. In terms of seasons, not spring, not summer, okay? Fall and winter. It's more of an evening fragrance, more of a nighttime fragrance. Be a great special occasion scent, nice formal fragrance, nice date night fragrance. Now obviously you can wear it during the day, but it's pretty strong. Don't go really heavy with it, especially if you're trying to wear it to the office or something. Keep it low key, you know, just a couple sprays. But this has made for an interesting twist for my favorite fragrance releases of the year as far as designers go. Gonna be tough. I absolutely am loving this thing. It is fantastic. If you're a fan of the Boss Bottled line, especially kind of how it's trended here over the last little bit with releases like these, you gotta get your nose on this. I'm not saying you're definitely 100% gonna like it more than Elixir, or if you like Triumph Elixir the most, I'm not saying you're 100% gonna like it more than that. But there's a good chance that you absolutely love this. So I would stop into a store, check it out, wear it on your skin, see how it works for you. The price, even at full retail, all things considered nowadays, pretty good. Once it hits Elixir discounter prices, that's gonna be just great. I know it's not cheap. 70 bucks, 75 bucks at discounters is not cheap, but you're getting a lot for your money here. So there we go, bottled Absolu. Exceeded expectations. Big fan. I'm a big fan. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.